I've seen a couple of videos of individuals claiming that civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who's pictured in the image above, is either grifting or using the cases of these families for monetary gain, which I believe is far from the truth. I believe civil rights attorney Ben Crump is passionate about the cases that he is defending, as well as he's passionate about seeking justice for these families. However, if him and the families that he is supporting agree to monetary payment, then that is between him and the family. Ben Crump has a legal team, and him and his legal team have supported some cases on a pro bono basis. However, in some circumstances, him and the families that he is supporting and seeking justice have come to a monetary agreement. And considering the fact that Ben Crump not only supports cases in one state, he supports cases in several states. For example, he has a case in Texas, he has some cases in Mississippi, Wisconsin, Georgia, and there's maybe many other locations that I know of. Traveling to those different locations costs money. It costs travel expenses and where you're gonna stay while you're in those locations. And not only that, but just for his personal expenses and the expenses of his legal team, he would have to pay. And so the cases of these families are not something that anybody would ever dream of. These families lost their family members to either a civilian in the community or a group of civilians in the community, or law enforcement, or sometimes due to unusual circumstances. And unfortunately, due to the process in the investigation or due to the legal process, there was a loss of confidence. And so the families felt like the only way that they could probably seek justice is to reach out to civil rights attorney Ben Crump, because him and his legal team already have a reputation. And so this is not something that these families just want. An unusual circumstance happened and they feel like there's no other way. And so they seeked out civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and I believe he is doing an absolutely great job, him and his legal team. And I don't understand why anybody will be tearing him down, especially people from within our Black community. Because as of recent, I don't understand why it seems like we're going back to the Jim Crow era. It almost looks like we're going backwards when we were progressing and everything was getting good. But I think civil rights attorney Ben Crump is doing an absolutely great job, him and his team. So, yeah.